Class 10 students, listen carefully. These mistakes can cause you 4 to 5 marks in your long answers. Yes, you heard me right. If you do these mistakes that we are going to discuss today, and I'll tell you the hacks to solve those too. Now we all know our paper will have all kinds of questions, 1 marker, 2 marker, 5 marker. Those 5 markers are very, very important, right? Because they handle most of our marks. One question is giving you 5 marks. So let us see some of the hacks to write that question properly, because presentation is equally important as your knowledge, as you are studied. You have studied the whole year. Right now it is time to know how to exactly present your knowledge, how to present your answers. Okay, let us talk about those hacks, but before that, let us see what are the problems, what are the mistakes that we as students make in the examinations that actually cost us those marks. First is cutting, obviously. Second, you can't remember those long answers, too much details, too much definition, too much of a story. You are unable to remember that. Then slow speed. A major problem of the students is that I am unable to complete the exam. This is so lengthy. So we'll talk about that. And bad handwriting. Yes, your bad handwriting can cause you those marks, but let us talk about the bad handwriting first. Now, the actual problem is not your technique, is not your memory, it is your technique. The technique, you need the right technique, the right approach to write the examinations, because you have the knowledge, right? Your memory is intact, you have the knowledge, but technique needs refining, right? So let us see how we look into that. Now I have got you 2 answer sheets. Which one of these looks neat? Which one of these looks great? Mind you, if you look closely, this handwriting is actually a little bit better. Ignore the smiley faces, but the handwriting is actually very good, right? In here, the handwriting is pretty decent, not that good. But if you see, this is neat. This is neat. The kid has left the margins, there are equal points, there is a proper heading, right? So let us decode exactly what we need to do to write this kind of answer sheet than this, even if our handwriting is not that good. More than handwriting, my friend, neatness matters. Neatness, cleanliness matters a lot more than handwriting. So what you have to do to get a clean and neat answer sheet, the structure of your answer sheet should be perfect. Examiners, they have to check lots of copies, right? One examiner has to check 40-50 copies, more than that in a single day. Now they will scan your copy, they will not read one single line. Okay, so what you have to do to get good marks? See, let us examine these copies. What is happening? Balanced spacing, my friend, balanced spacing. Proper margins are left. A clear line has been left after the main definition. Then moving on to the next definition, again a proper line has been left. You are paying for your exams, right? You have paid to give those examinations, so you can definitely use the answer sheet as much as you like. Nobody is giving you marks that, oh, that kid has used less answer sheet, I'll give you 2 more marks. No, they are not going to do that. So leave proper spaces, balanced spacing, very important point. Okay, moving on to clean margins. Now again, I've talked about it. They have left clean margins and there is no unusual gap or hindrance of the words, right? Correct. One more very important thing you will see here are the keywords. See, the kid has clearly underlined the keywords. The kid has clearly underlined the keyword, right? In here, when we are writing the main points, they have clearly underlined those main points. So underlining the keywords, underlining the keywords is also a very, very important point, because that is how the teacher will know that yes, this kid knows what he or she is writing and they are not just here to write songs, right? Next we have is diagrams. We know that in science you are going to get so many diagrams, from physics, biochemistry as well. Now, the main mistakes we do in the diagrams, first is using pen. One day before the examination, go pack pencil, a compass, a scale, eraser, sharpener. You have to have all these things with you before you go into the examination, because you need to make diagrams, right? Now, pens are a no-go, okay? Then not using scale. Of course, if you're making ray diagrams, you have to use scale, right? So, this is a no-go. And not labeling properly. Labeling of the diagram. If you see in here, see how neatly this kid has made the diagram. It is clearly written diagram of the human heart. So, they have said that what is this? This is a human heart, and then they have made it very, very decently, very clearly, neatly. And see, even the labeling is very perfect. Right atrium and left atrium are not merging together. It is clearly visible that they are distant, they have space between them. So it is very important that you label your diagrams very correctly. There should be proper space between your labeling, and you use scale and pencil, not in here the scale, but you use proper pencils to make your diagrams: scale, compass, pencil, eraser, sharpener. You write these 5 things. These should be there with you when you enter into the examination hall, right? Next, we have numericals. While you are attempting numericals or you are attempting maths question, one very important point is, see, a question is given, right? But the first thing we do, these are long answers. You will get long answers in numericals, right? First thing you do, we write what is given. Clearly written, given that the voltage is 12 volt. What we have to find? And resistance and voltage is given. The clearly written, right? Very basic, very neat. Then to find current, we need to find current, and they have also written a question mark there, that this is we need to find. Correct? Then we move on to solution. Again, that is also stepwise. Now you don't have to write step 1 formula, but you can write I equals to V by R. Then moving on to the voltage and R is given, you substitute that value, and then the calculation. Now the final most important thing is first your units. Right? Most important thing is, do not forget to write your units, correct? And answer in a box. Answer in a box. This is a very important point. Answer in a box is a very, very important point. Whenever you solve a numerical, whenever you get a proper answer after your numerical, you have to make a square or a circle, mostly a square, around that final answer. Right? Correct. Next we had, ma'am, we couldn't remember. The hack to remember. Very easy hack, very smart hack, and very proven hack is for language and SST. What you need to do? You have to create a story around that chapter, around that poem, around an essay, right? When you create a story, narrate it to someone. Narration is very important, because while you narrate, when you are reading, you are just using your eyes and brain. While you narrate, you are speaking and you are hearing. 2 more senses are included in that, and more senses you include while doing something, the task will be better. So read it, make it a story around it, and narrate it to someone, be your grandparents, your siblings, your parents, anyone. Narrate it to someone, then make it into a summary. A summary of 1 page, half page, 4 points, doesn't matter. Make it into a small summary. Remember the main points. Okay, this is the main character, this is what happened to them, this was the conclusion, this was the start of French Revolution, these were the main dates, these are the main people, and at the end happened this, right? And practice writing. In long answers, you will do every hack, but if you don't practice writing, that will be of no use, my friend. Trust me on this. If you don't practice writing, that will be no hack will be of any use. Okay, so go make it a story and make it a summary around it, and then go practice writing. I know you know English, you know grammar, you know how to form a sentence, so at least write the summary. Every time you read it, write it. Practice by writing. Okay, then moving on to science, we have understand the concept first. Do not try to cram a definition. Do not try to cram the working of some procedure, some reaction, or some function of a human heart or a body heart. Understand how it happened. Go watch those one shots, rapid revisions, study from your notes, but understand the concept. Don't cram it, okay? Because we know how to write it. Once you know what is a potential difference, you can make it in your own language. The teacher will not cut your marks if you written it in a language different than book, but they will cut the marks if the definition is not conceptually right. So understand the concept, and in 5-marker question, what you have to do, start with the definition and then write the pointers, right? Start with a definition. When you start with the definition, first definition, then start the pointers. First definition, that will be your intro, right? Then go into pointers, then make the diagram. Making the diagram is very important. In the questions they have asked definitely, but if they haven't asked and you have time, make that diagram, and then write the examples as well for whatever question you have. If it includes, if you can write examples, write the examples, and then write the outro. Write the outro part. This is a perfect thing where you perfect demonstration of how to write a 5-marker question. A 5-marker question. Understood, everyone? Follow these hacks and you will definitely get 5 out of 5 in your long answers of every subject, be it be language, be it be science or SST or math. Just follow it stepwise, okay? Do not write paragraphs. Do not create a hurdle for the teacher. You have to make your examination, your answer sheet very easy for your teacher to check. They have to check so many copies, so they're already frustrated. Don't make it much harder for them, okay? Work on your writing, but even if you have a little bad handwriting, follow and work on the neatness and cleanliness of your examination, of your answer sheet. Done? Subscribe the channel. That is it for this video. I'll meet you in the next one.